is Tori not
Oh,
here?
Tori's coming, yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
Amanda and Colin.
You wanna go ahead and get the invocation ready for that? Okay. We can go ahead and do it. We can
Yeah,
do
we
the
do.
invocation.
Four is all we need, 4 of 7.
Before we get started, we have Carol Still here from Willow Road Christian Church to give the invocation. Thank you for coming.
Would you join me in prayer? Gracious God, I thank you for the tireless work of the men and women of the school board, and for their dedication to the children, their families, for the teachers, administrators, and staff of Enid's Public Schools. I pray that you will bless their work this evening, grant them the wisdom necessary so that their decisions may truly benefit and build up our entire community. We ask this in Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you.
Thank you,
Amen.
sir.
Thank you. Okay, with that, we'll call the meeting to order. Let the record show that we're a little light tonight on board members. Tori Turnbow is absent. Colin Abernathy, our president, so I'm filling in tonight, and our vice president, Amanda, are absent. So anyway, with that, we'll start with Amber.
Good evening. I would like to introduce the principal of Monroe School, Scott Allen, at this time to introduce our pledge leader.
This is Isaiah Hernandez, and he is an outstanding student at Monroe. He exemplifies everything I look for in a Monroe student. He loves his family very much, loves spending time with his brother and his 10 cousins. He's pretty passionate about soccer, and he actually is headed to the soccer field as soon as he finishes up here. So I'm going to go ahead and let him say something right quick.
I just want to thank Mr. Allen for picking me to be the spotlight student. I also want to thank my family for being there for me. At Monroe, I like all the teachers there, including Mr. Allen, because they are kind, fun, and supportive. If you're in a problem, the teachers are there to help you. My teachers have taught me so much more than what I know about reading, math, science, and social studies. One thing I like about Monroe are the morning assemblies because it puts everybody in a good mood. Also because Mr. Allen pushes us about not giving up on our hopes and dreams. Monroe is a great school for me.
Does he have something to give him? Isaiah. No, which one is it? There we go. All right. Good job, Isaiah.
And with that, if you would stand as we have the presentation of the colors.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Isaiah.
Next Next, I would like to introduce Emerson Middle School Principal Candace Wojciechowski to introduce our Spotlight student for the evening.
Good evening. It is my pleasure to introduce to you tonight an 8th grader at Emerson. She's been with us 2 years now, and she is quite an artist. So while she gets her statement that she has for you ready, I'll tell you a little bit about her. She loves to draw. She loves Special Olympics. She loves to compete in sporting events. She has a YouTube channel where she displays some of her drawing and her artwork. She has over 14,000 followers and subscribers. She's quite the artist, and so here is Miss Kaylee Sack.
Hi, my name is Kaylee Sack. I am 14 years old. I'm an 8th grader and I attend Emerson Middle School. This is my 3rd year at Emerson. I also participate in the Special Olympics. This year our 8th grade recognition and the last day of school is May 25th. I am an artist and I love art. I draw with mechanical pencils in black and white. Sometimes I use color pencils for cartoons. I look forward to being at the high school next year. I hope you enjoy this video made by fellow students at Emerson about me and my art.
The video here. If we have a video. We got a little brief video here. Did you put this together? You put the video together?
Students at Emerson did.
All right. Good job, Kayla. You are quite the artist. Hope you do well with that. I bet you will. We'll let Mr. Whitehead stay down there, and Amber has got a few more introductions to make.
Yes, we have several groups to recognize this evening. The first are students from Enid High School who have not only taken advantage of great opportunities at Enid High School, but they're also working with one of our greatest partners, Autry Technology Center. Their students there. They've been successful in their student competitions. We want to recognize them tonight for their accomplishments and also to commend them for preparing themselves for the work ahead that they're learning at Autry. So at this time, I would like to introduce Superintendent Brady McCullough to share with us a little bit about these competitions.
Dr. Floyd, members of the board, thank you for the opportunity to be here, and thank you for the opportunity that you have provided Autry Technology Center. We're very proud to serve as an extension of Enid High School and offering classes for primarily your juniors and seniors, but we also get to work with many other age groups that are enrolled in Enid Public Schools at different points in time during the year. During the normal school year, we'll have between 170 or 200 of your high school students on our campus. We are finishing up a lot of contests that have taken place for our students in a variety of different areas, and we're going to introduce several of those students to you this evening that are state champions. We also have a couple of members here that have already competed in the national competition, and Janet Strait will be introducing how they placed. They just got back in this past weekend, I believe, so it's hot off the press, and you'll be some of the first to know that. Before I call upon Janet Strait for those introductions of students, I would like to introduce some faculty members, staff members that are here with me this evening. Mandy Mayberry is our Director of our Public Relations. Also, we do have one of our teachers that snuck in. I just noticed when I got up here, but Cheryl Cooksey is one of our T&I teachers that has taught for several years now for Autry Technology Center. She has students that are represented in this group that will be introduced to you, but the reason I would really like to introduce Mrs. Cooksey is because this past year she was recognized as the outstanding Trade and Industrial Education teacher in the United States.
Wow.
So, Teacher of the Year for the United States. I don't know what she's going to do this year to top that, but she'll come up with something, I'm sure. Again, thank you for the opportunity to get to work with the students that come to Autry from Enid Public Schools. They are the highest of quality. They are a wonderful group of young people to get to work with. At this time, I'd like to call upon Janet Strait. Janet is Director of our Student Activities. She works with all of our competitive activities across the campus, works with all the different trade group organizations. So, Janet, if you'll introduce the students.
Thank you. Before I introduce our career state champions, I have two students in the audience that did not place at the first place at their state competitions, but they were able to go on. One was able to go on to nationals, and one is stepping in and going on to nationals later this summer. First of all, Chance Miller, will you just please rise where you're at? Chance is a student in our IT class and a member of Business Professionals of America. He placed second in a couple of state competitions, paid his own way to go with his twin brother that you'll meet here in a minute to go to nationals, and while he was at nationals this last week, placed in the top 10 in the nation in 2 separate competition areas, as well as received some national certifications. So wanted to introduce Chance as well. I also had a student sneak in that I think she's here in support, but Amanda Martin is a student in our graphic arts. She's been very active in our Skills USA chapter, and we had one student in our promotional bulletin board team that is unable to go to nationals because of some military service, and so Amanda stepped in and is going to help us hopefully win a gold medal at nationals in promotional bulletin board. So thank you, Amanda. Now to introduce our state champions in our Business Professionals of America, Connor Miller. Connor placed first in accounting mathematics concepts, as well as second and third in some other areas. He just came back from Orlando and has some national certifications under his belt. From our IT class, we have Francisco Morales, and he just got back from nationals and has some national certifications there as well. He competed in computer network technology. And Desiree Sawyer is from our accounting class. She won first at state and payroll accounting and second and third in some other competitions. And she came back with a bronze medal from nationals at in the payroll accounting. So if you guys need someone to help, Carl and Desiree might be able to help you out there. One of the student organizations we have on campus is our Health Occupations Students of America. These are for all of our students in a health-related class, and we had one student that competed in dental terminology and won first at the state level there, and that is Sierra Schlett. And in our Skills USA State Champions, first place we have Kyle Dempsey in the promotional bulletin board team. Jackson Minton is also from Graphic Arts, and he was also on that team with Kyle. Hunter Sullivan is in our robotics and electronic automation class, and he placed first in electronics technology. Talia Trejo, she competed in the job exhibit acrylic nails division and won first at state. Zane Rader competed in motorcycle service technology, won first place there. He also was presented with a, was it $10,000 scholarship to UTI if he chooses to go there. Wow. And Araya Unruh. Araya competed in the pen design. They design a pen that they trade at nationals, and she won first in that division, and hopefully will get to be the Oklahoma pen that we trade when we go to Louisville, Kentucky this summer. Again, thank you for your support. I know that we have a lot of communication with the high school on getting these students not counted absent from their classes while they're gone and getting their homework turned in, and we do appreciate your support and very proud of these students.
All right, y'all, you guys hang tight. Ms. Fitzgerald, would you like to organize them for a picture?
Yes, if I could get the ladies to go ahead and step forward, we'll make 2 rows here.
While they're organizing, Dr. Floyd, if I could,
sure.
I would like to thank Mr. Darrow and the staff at the high school. Working with them is indeed a pleasure for all of our staff at Autry Technology Center, and you're very fortunate to have them.
Absolutely. Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay. Okay. Brady, you want to get in here?
Next, we are going to be recognizing a group from Enid High School who I think will be very familiar to you because this time each year we have the opportunity to recognize them for their accomplishments. It's the girls tennis team who we know represent Enid High School in a remarkable way, both on the court and in the classroom. So at this time, I'd like to introduce Assistant Coach Rochelle Landwehr to introduce the athletes and tell us a little bit about their season and their appearance at state competition.
First off, I'd like to thank the board for allowing us to come up and show off our girls here. We've had quite a tough season with some injuries we've battled through, but we've still came out on top. We were the second place team at regionals, and then came up and placed 7th in the whole state at 6A girls. So we had a really positive season, even though we had some injuries kind of lag us down a little bit. Okay, so first off, I want to start with Molly Bloom. She played at our 1 singles position. And by the way, all of our girls, all of our top 6 were state qualifiers. So all girls got to play and compete against the other 6A schools in the state. At 2 singles, we had Hema Cruz. Okay, at 1 doubles, we had Elizabeth Dillingham and Grace Dillingham. And then at 2 doubles, we had Avery Player and Abby Gwynn. I'd also like to announce that Abby Gwynn and Avery Player placed 5th at state, and our 1 doubles of Grace and Elizabeth Dillingham placed 6th at state. So we fought really hard, and we placed 7th as a team. So good job, girls.
Congratulations. Yeah, Coach, get in there with them. We'll get a group picture.
Could you guys come out just this way where I can get you underneath the screen?
Some of these ladies been up here before. Get in there, Mom. Congratulations, ladies.
For our final recognition this evening, we are going to be recognizing a group of students from our EPS Vision program, which they recently won a state competition about a workplace safety video. So representing them, introducing them this evening will be their teachers Mark Ray and Diana Haslett.
Hello, my name's Mark Ray. We're kind of juggling. Diana and I also are running everything else that's going on tonight. So I'm going to vamp for a little bit until Diana can get all the cameras set, and then she will come out and we will tag out. But EPS Vision this is our 2nd year with the class. We're growing. We're actually doing great things. If you don't understand what it is long story short, when Pegasus was folded up, we inherited a television channel, and we are now building a television channel using students. It's going very, very good. With the bond issue, we're actually going to be having our own television studio, which is going to just only make things a lot bigger. At this time, I will introduce my partner, Diana Haslett, and let her take over from here while I go get everything else going.
Go continue running the channel. Hi, we're happy to introduce our students who worked on a workplace safety video. So what it was for the Oklahoma Department of Labor, and they wanted a video to kind of show to teens about workplace safety. And so we gave the assignment to the class, and we have 3 students that worked together and created the winning video. And those students are Justin Johnson, who I don't believe could make it tonight, Ethan Jones, and Patrick Harper. All 3 students are sophomores in the class. Come on up, guys. And we do actually have their video, which once Mark gets settled, we'll watch. This is Patrick. Yeah.
So, Death, are you ready to play?
Absolutely.
Workplace edition?
Yes.
You first.
Faulty machinery.
Safety inspector.
Laceration.
Safety gloves.
Falling objects.
Hard hat and work boots.
Slipping and falling.
Caution wet floor sign.
Improper lifting.
Proper lifting technique.
Grease fire.
Fire extinguisher. Well, Death, looks like you're out of cards.
I do have more units. War, pestilence, myself and general.
We agreed on workplace safety only.
All right. You win for now. Good game.
Good game.
Good job. Well done. All right, is that it, Amber? Yes. All right, thank you. I believe that's it, Kyle. We might have an extra one up there, Amber. I'm not sure whose that one is. That certificate, okay? We do not have any visitors, okay?
All right, that brings us to audience and visitors. We did not have anybody sign up, so now it is on to the superintendent's report.
Okay, first up, we got Michael Shuck here to give us an update on all of our construction projects for the bond issue. And then I promise the rest of my superintendent report will be short. Write that down.
Okay, so mine might not be as short, but.
Pull that mic up a little bit if you
Sorry.
will. Thank you.
To start with, just an update. Some of you've heard this a little bit before, but we got our project design status. You can see here that Taft and Garfield are at 100%. Waller, we just got their 100% design drawings, and we're reviewing those. Longfellow is moving along really pretty nicely, and you can see on here that the high school, I'm not sure exactly what that's showing there, but it's moving along really pretty well. I'll talk about it in a minute here. We have the on-call Phase 2 design projects working. It's with Corbin and MERS. Some of the highlights here are the Coolidge security vestibule and some playground drainage, track, several things with playgrounds on it. Our major projects, we have Taft. It's under construction now. What's happening there is we've got the courtyard, as I tell you every time, the courtyard, the yellow block there in the middle is a 4-classroom addition, and the little triangle is the entryway. This is the courtyard demolition. We've taken out the playground, some trees, some various paving. It's now one giant mud puddle. We could really have some fun recesses out there, but it's a mess. This is the front entryway where we've did a lot of the demolition there. We poured some footings out there, and the masonry is starting. They just got one course of block for the triangular entry area installed today when I was over there looking at it. Garfield, I think this is one that we just bid this one. I think you're looking to improve it later in the meeting. The low bidder was Henson Construction. They were at 1.783 million. Included in that was an alternate for a generator, which was $35,000, which was, we didn't really think we were going to do it. That was one just to look at the price of it to make sure that we got a good price on it, and it fell right within budget. And something to remember on the Garfield project, it's about $500,000 under budget. The budget was $2.3 million, so that's a real big win for us there. We also had 7 bidders, and the bids were from about 1.8 to 1.9, and then the low was 1.7. So that tells you that we really had some really good drawings. They were real tight. Everybody knew what they were bidding, so the numbers came in really pretty close. And it also shows you that Henson Construction was really trying hard to look out for the district and try to get a real low bid for us, because they were successful on it. Longfellow, you know, I've told you several times about the issues we're having there with the plumbing and site utilities, and this image kind of shows you a little bit about that. The yellow line that runs diagonal across that image between that green dot on the left and the red dot on the right, that's the existing location of the sanitary sewer. And it's an old clay tile sanitary sewer. It's under our building. We built over it in the 40s, or the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and 80s. So we just continue to build over it. It's not real good, because if it ever has a problem, you want to be able to get down to it, dig down to it, and fix it. When we, of course, can't do that when it's underneath there. So to kind of alleviate that problem, you can see all the little red lines in the middle there. Those are all the little drain lines from all the individual restrooms and kitchen, the freezers, different areas that have floor drains in there. They are all coming out, and what we're going to do is gather those together, kind of manifold those together, and then take them there on that down and around to the green dot there. So we're going to just manifold them together, take them out around our building, and then we can build our new building over the top of that area and not worry about so much of having to fix those. And that'll allow us to abandon that area there, the yellow line between the green and the red dot. So that's where we got on that one to fix that. And we're moving along pretty nicely. We just had a meeting over there with the principal and kind of got a real positive direction. So I feel pretty positive about Longfellow, about moving along there. You can already see we have that image that we've shown a couple times there in the lower right-hand corner. Waller, we've got the drawings in, like I said before, and we're reviewing those, so that's moving ahead. Northwestern, we've completed a survey over there, which helped us define the property that we're going to be leasing from Northwestern, which I think you had approved that lease agreement at the last board meeting, and the next board meeting for Northwestern is on that May 26th, which will be when they'll be approving that, and we'll be moving ahead with that. On our minor projects, we had Hayes, the Hayes awning. We bid that. Henson Construction came in low on that one. That's not as impressive. They were the only bidders on that one, so that was not good. But our budget there was $100,000, so we're a little over on that one.
Mike, why do you think they were the only bidder? Just a small project?
It was a really small project, and it was just kind of an unusual one. There's not a lot of people that do awnings, so I think it was just a little unusual. We had it out to all the bid. We've advertised it in all the different plan rooms and different things, so it was out there. We tried to send it to several local contractors. I think it was kind of something specialized, and I think Henson has the size that they were able to handle little things like that as well. Yeah, and we were happy for them to do it because they'll do a good job for it. Tomorrow we'll be meeting with Henson and KKT, the architects, doing a little value engineering, trying to get that down a little bit. We probably can't get it all the way down, but I think we can get some money out of it, and that'll be a positive thing for us. Hoover Hall flooring, we've talked about this quite a bit. We're trying to get this done this summer. Bentley Flooring out of Oklahoma City gave us a number of $46,954. Bentley, I'd worked with them a lot in my old job, so they're really one of the a very high quality flooring company that'll be able to come up and work with us, so that's a great thing. The budget there was $36,000, so we're another $10,000 over that budget. Remember the $500,000 I said before? But that one looked pretty good. This one's one that's another real positive thing. This is the cubbies for several of our elementaries. You can see there that all of these actually came in just right under budget, so that's a very positive thing. We'll be adding these cubbies to the elementary classrooms at Adams, Coolidge, and Hayes. Budgeted $27,000 at Adams and came in at $24,000, so those were really pretty good. This is our summer to-do list, several of the projects that we're getting together for the summer, and it's the list is kind of lengthening here. We've got the highlighted ones would be Coolidge's gym remodel. That's scheduled to happen this summer. That'll be one where we get the carpet off the walls and put new flooring down, so it'll be a really nice thing. Another one is the high school life skills room, which is not really a bond issue project, but it's one that we're managing. That's a real exciting one. One update I can give you on that one is, well, first we're going to have the bids coming up next Monday, and we're going to do a walkthrough of the area with contractors tomorrow. But we had a meeting with the students. I know Mrs. Jermison said that when we first went in there to look at that, and y'all have heard me say that before, she said, well, wait, this looks ugly, but this is our ugly. You know, we put this together. We've painted this, we've hung these pictures and all this stuff, so you got to get approval from my students before you can really change anything. I thought, wow, you know, but that's true. So we didn't really know what to think going into a group of students and asking them, you know, what do they think about our project here? It's high school kids, you know. But boy, it was like walking into any group of corporate America. You know, they had the CFO, the guy worried about the money. They had the maintenance guy. Everybody was asking questions like that. It was amazing that Matthew was one of them. He was really interested in the cost. He was going through and checking out the cost on everything and worried about the cost. We had two of them that were who kind of took it upon themselves to come into the room every time they came in and try to clean it. So they were maintaining the current room. So they were worried about the finishes and everything. So they were checking on the finishes. Is this going to be easy to clean? And a couple of them were worried about the colors, and got a couple big thumbs up from some of the other guys. So that all in all was really pretty good. We took some what they said and incorporated it in, so it was really kind of a plus there. The high school, it's the last thing here on my list. We had the rezoning and street closure with the city. The blue squares on the lower right and lower left are where we had to rezone it. That went through without any objection. We also had various streets and alleyways and parts and pieces of different things that we closed, and all that went through pretty successfully. This is a picture of that southeast corner where those houses were that we just had rezoned, showing that we have demoed that and cleared that all off. And we're going to be meeting with MA Plus, the architects for the high school, on the 26th, where we present it to our building committee. They are, as you saw their presentation last time, I was pretty impressed with what they had done at that point. And been trying to push them pretty hard, and I just got a report from them saying that they had moved a little bit further ahead than what I thought they should be. They're right now dealing a lot with the mechanical mechanical engineers and structural engineers, and trying to put all those things together, so it's a real technical time for them, but they've advanced a lot further than what I thought they should, so that was a real good report to hear. So that was a positive thing. So that's all I've got. Any questions?
I have a question for you. On Taft, I thought I remembered that the gymnasium was going to be covered and connected to the main school, but the
yeah, that's true.
Picture didn't look like it there. Is that still part of it?
Well, you can't quite see it on that image, but yeah, there is the link in between there.
Okay.
And
it's actually kind of a covered walkway, isn't it?
Yeah, it's covered right now. We're taking all that down and putting a new cover and new glass on both sides, and it'll be completely enclosed.
Okay, that's what I thought, but
yeah.
I couldn't tell from that it was still
Yeah,
there.
it's kind of hidden down there.
Yeah,
That's a long little alleyway there.
Right.
And it's not a very large link. It's just enough to get them across the hallway size link.
Keep them out of the weather.
And enclosed.
Yeah,
Okay,
and keep them
thank
out of
you.
the weather.
Anything else?
Thank you, sir.
All right.
All right, just a few quick notes about a few other things. We did hear recently, Carl went back and forth several times. I may be stealing some of his thunder when he gets to the financial report, but we did get really good news from our bond rating agency that even despite all of the Oklahoma economic and legislative outlook for funding, et cetera, they started off talking to Carl about how that might relate to a lowering of our bond rating, but he was able to convince them that they really are two separate animals. The general fund and the that's kind of unrelated to the debt retirement. So we, after Carl went back and forth with them several times, we did get notification from them that we will continue to be rated at an A+ rating. So that's good for us, good for our taxpayers, and we were pleased with that. So appreciate Carl's efforts on that. As Michael said, we did get the agreement on Northwestern for our early childhood classrooms out there. We approved that last month. We got that to Northwestern, and they have that on their agenda for this month. And so as soon as they approve it, which we don't have any reason to believe that it will not be approved, then they'll sign it, and we'll have a fully executed copy for a 100-year lease for $1 a year. So we appreciate them working with us on that. It's win-win for us and them. You may recall that on May 4th, 4 representatives from the Chickasaw Nation came to visit the Commons, and they were there and interacted with the children and the folks in the memory unit, and stayed for visitation with the grandmas and grandpas, and it was really an enjoyable experience. And Chris kind of oversaw that operation, Chris Smith, so we appreciate her organizing that. You have a few documents in front of you, board members. The first one is about Lincoln Academy. They've got their graduation tomorrow. That is at 6 p.m. and will be held next door to their building at Emerson Auditorium. All of you are invited if you'd like to attend. And then the next document there, you saw this last month, but just a few upcoming events that you might want to put on your calendar if you have time to attend. Baccalaureate comes up this coming Sunday on May the 21st. That's at the high school auditorium, 6:30. And then the next day, we've got the senior awards at the high school auditorium, also at 6:30 p.m. And then 2 days later, they'll have their class day program at the high school. It's always a fun event. Kids kind of get to show off their talents. And then graduation commencement on Thursday, May the 25th at the stadium. And we're crossing our fingers for good weather. I understand that my prayers will be answered, and we will have good weather and be able to have it outside. But just in case it does rain, we have arranged for PA system out there that is significantly, we're renting a PA system to just for that purpose. And we also purchased some improvements to the stage area, both outside and inside if we need to go inside. So we'll see improvements in both of those areas. And then last day of school is the 25th, and the teacher work day on the 26th. Board members, speaking of graduation, this year we've got a parking pass for you, and we will convene for commencement same place at the field house at the stadium, but we will have reserved parking spaces for you on the south side, the visitor side of the stadium, kind of down on the west side, right across from the maintenance shed. So there'll be some cones out there. Bring this, if you will, bring this reserved parking pass with you, because the custodian or whoever's out there may not know all the board members. So just pull up there, show him your yellow pass, and he'll move the cone. You can pull in there, and then if you can walk through the maintenance shed there across the field and into the field house. And we'll have some water there for you, and some the commencement programs, etc. And you've got an enrollment sheet there. We're currently at 7879, which always takes a little bit of a dip toward the end of the school year. And believe it or not, that is the extent of my superintendent report. Wow. Yeah. Come on.
Yeah.
That was,
some of you don't know.
Some of you just really do not know. Yeah, that was significantly shorter than normal.
I feel like we're missing something.
Yeah.
Brady, you're going to miss all the rest of the fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all you can stand. I understand. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming, Brady.
Okay, with that, we'll move on to regular business. Item 4A, we can take item A, 1 through 13, I think.
That is correct, sir.
In the form of one motion, unless somebody needs to pull something out. If you didn't have time to review something or you have questions, feel free to. If not, I would entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion by Ernie, second by Tori. Any more discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes. B, we will turn over to Mr. White to give us the district's financial report for April.
If you'll take a look at your one-line summary, which is was sent to you via the internet, and or it is also on the inside cover of the printed detailed report that is at your place there on your table.
Carl, can you pull that mic a little closer, please? Thank
Sure.
you.
See if I can get it a little bit closer. Is that better?
Yep.
All right. Very quickly, the general fund has collected about $53 million of the estimated nearly $60 million that we'll take in for the year. We are in reasonably good shape considering what's happened to us at the state and federal level. Primarily at the state, we do anticipate that the revenue failures yet to come will, in total, prevent us from receiving approximately $1,080,000. So we'll talk about that a little bit later on when we talk about our budget reduction plan. Our obligations or encumbrances are running about where we thought they would. And I would like to point out that that large cash balance in the general fund of nearly $15 million will be taken up fairly quickly in the month of May. If you recall the way we do our pay cycle, the teachers get 12 payments a year, but those are done within our fiscal year. Their pay calendar starts in August, which means as soon as they finish their contract, we will pay 2 additional payments besides the regular May monthly payroll. So we'll be doing 3 payrolls this month, and then we'll finish up in June, which is the end of our fiscal year. So that cash balance will be spent down significantly by the end of the report period for the next month's meeting. So just wanted to remind you of that. Everything else is pretty much standard. I would be happy to answer any questions you might have. Again, we'll talk quite a bit more about budget reduction and the outlook for our state revenue later on in the meeting. Any questions? All right, then I would appreciate approval of the report as printed.
A motion by Willa Joe.
Second.
Second by Tori. Any more discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Next item is the temporary appropriations for the district's general fund and building fund.
I think the next several items we can take by letter and do a couple of things at once. I would like to very briefly explain that this is a routine item on C1. These are our temporary appropriations for the coming fiscal year. Of course, we can't spend any money unless it's appropriated, and you should have had a detailed copy of that at your place that shows that for the general fund, we're requesting about 80% of our estimate of needs from this year, which would be $47,967,000 in round numbers. And for the building fund, again, 80%, which would be about $3,024,000 in round numbers. This will get us started and carry us through until the estimate of needs is prepared and ready for your approval, usually in the month of October. The estimate of needs, of course, is our official estimate that establishes our appropriations for that fiscal year. These are simply temporary. The next appropriation is for some residual funds. If you recall, the 2010 building program was funded by a number of different sources of funding. We had general obligation bonds, Series 2010. We actually had some money left from our 2003 bond issue, which we rolled several of the projects that had not yet been initiated into that 2010 building program. We had transportation bond funds, and then we also had Garfield County Education Facility Authority funds like we do this time. So these represent canceled contracts, money that was encumbered in several fiscal years. The details, again, are on the handout at your place for the 2003 series bonds. We would like to appropriate those and incorporate those into our current 2016 series building program. So that's a brief overview of those two appropriations, and I believe you can take care of both with one vote.
Entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Ernie, second by Willa Joe. Any more discussion?
I might also add that $220,000 provides us some additional cushion for some of our current projects that we're concerned about coming in within budget.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Next item, I think Dr. Floyd may talk a little bit about. We're going to change our reporting of suspected child abuse and neglect, and then something about our student drug testing program.
Yes, sir. We'll take item 1 by itself first, and all this documentation is in your electronic board packet there, but I'll give you the summary of it. A lot of this stemmed from the Perry situation and things like that about it caused OSSBA to look at their existing board policies on suspected child abuse and or neglect and the reporting of both of those. And so in your packet, you probably saw where they recommend they've had their legal teams look at this, and so basically they recommend that we do away with the existing FFG board policy that for us has been in place, started out in '02 and then was re-upped in '06, so it's been in place for a good long time, but then replace it completely with the new FFG, which basically says that if any person has knowledge of or suspects a child has been physically abused or neglected, then they are legally required to contact DHS and turn that over. And it goes through on that first page to state that they also shall that their supervisors can't take any retaliation against them for doing something like that as long as they do it in good faith, and that they also shall report it to the building principal or superintendent or their immediate supervisor, whoever that may be. And then we've got to post that type of policy in both English and Spanish. So I think this is a good change to safeguard the school district and safeguard students, so I would recommend approval.
Okay, we'll go ahead and just separate that one out.
Yeah.
All right.
We need to
I'd entertain a motion.
Second.
Motion by Willa Joe, second by Tori. Any more discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Item 2 is the student drug testing program for extracurricular activities.
Okey-doke. Just a few minor changes to this. You all will remember that this is our first full year of implementation of that drug testing program for extracurricular activities, and for the most part it's gone well. Just a few tweaks. Just FYI, we had a goal of randomly testing 150. We ended up testing a total of 148, so real close to our goal. Fortunately, we only had 2 positives, so that was good. I think that shows a couple of things. A, that it is being a deterrent as it is designed to do, and then hopefully those 2 positives, we end up getting those kids headed in the right direction. But these policies are in your electronic packet, and then the changes are struck through in red, and then the change in policy is, the changes in red, basically there are very few changes here. We're just stating that it's not only relegated to, it could be a kid participating in an activity at any given time in the year. I think that was kind of inadvertent that a kid theoretically could have participated in, say, something in the fall, and then that would have been it, and they might not have been subject depending on the timing of the year. But this states that if they participate in an extracurricular activity at any time throughout the year, they're subject to be randomly tested. And then also there are a few activities that are extracurricular that do not necessarily fall under the governance of OSSAA. So we actually said any extracurricular activity that they're participating in, not just those that are associated with and governed by and sanctioned by OSSAA. And then we're already doing most of these other things, all of these other things that are in red. We make a concerted effort to contact the parent, and then the school nurse is involved, the administrator is involved if necessary, and we just needed to clean up the language that such that we had all of that included in the FNCFD board policy. So really more procedural than anything else, but we think that that'll clean up the language and make sure that what we are doing in procedures is actually relegated to policies. And we're pleased that that has been a positive deterrent or negative deterrent, however you want to look at that, such that it hopefully keeps kids from going down that road if they had an inclination. So would recommend approval of these minor changes to that drug testing program.
Do I have a motion?
Move we approve.
Second.
Motion by Matt, second by Tori. Discussion? Doug, I want to applaud you. I mean, you worked hard. I mean,
Yes,
it took
he
us,
did.
you know,
Yeah,
to get
absolutely.
us here. 3 years ago, we didn't have a drug testing program, so.
And I've got to give a lot of credit and shout out to our nurses. We have Joni and Lana who pretty much coordinate that whole process. And you know, when you're thinking about 148 students and you're looking at the collection process, it really is pretty impressive that really it's been pretty seamless as we work through that. So
The only pushback I've heard is the amount of hair, and it's usually a female student. Have you heard anything?
yeah, we have had a couple of isolated concerns regarding where hair was taken and whatever the case may be. And that's one of the things that I think has really been pivotal to the success is we've contacted parents, give them an opportunity, first of all, to let them know that it's happening. And then second, if they want to come up and observe the process, they can also come up and do that. And then we've got it on the website so that a parent can actually see what that looks like as it's physically being done, to try to take out any, you know, mystery to the whole process. And so I think that's really helped us.
Anyone else?
Has parental response been good, just as far as support of the school doing it, and we had any pushback on that?
No pushback, really. You know, I think we had one isolated incident where, you know, I think a parent felt like too much hair had been collected, but really supportive of the whole process. And we didn't have any, matter of fact, we had very few parents who felt like they needed to come up and watch the process. Most of them trusted that we were going to do it with fidelity, and it worked out really well.
Perfect.
Not be tested.
we could collect. We could. I'm sure. I'm certain.
Anything else? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Next item, I would kind of like with our coaches here to separate out item 1 and just discuss a little bit the agreement we have with the Little Spectrum.
Yeah, we have that. Would you like to talk about that separately? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, just rather than you know, so what unless somebody, if anyone wants to separate anything else, my suggestion would be to take items E, 2, 3, and I guess it's items 2 and 3 in the form of one motion, and then we'll do item 1 by itself. So
I'll make the motion, we approve items 2 and 3 under
okay.
E.
Got a
Second.
Motion by Ernie, second by Tori. Discussion?
I was just wondering, cost difference on the K-9.
On the
Drug
K-9,
health?
the new program will actually be $180 a year less expensive. They are a national group, have franchises all over the United States. They started in Texas and moved to Michigan and then diversified to many Midwestern states. So the other group that we were using, I think, is pretty much a local outfit.
And do we still plan to supplement that with our local PD and their willingness to come in? Or?
Sure,
Yeah.
sure.
How often do we have them come in, generally, ballpark?
Or they come in, Dudley? How often the drug dog is supposed to come in?
Pretty big times.
Okay. And one of the issues we had with the previous outfit is they would kind of get behind. I think they might have been overwhelmed a little bit, and then they would try to cram in several in a short period of time, which is really not the most effective way to do that. So that is one of the reasons that we started looking at a different outfit, and that's how we came up with this group.
And so this contract is for 12 visits, right?
Correct.
Minimum
Yeah,
12?
that's correct.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else? Yes.
Made the motion and second.
I don't remember.
I made the motion.
I second.
Yep. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Item 1 is the agreement with Global Spectrum and EPS use of the Central National Bank Center for fiscal year 2018.
Okay. That's in your packet. On that first page, you'll see that we're paying a flat fee of $32,000 for 11 events paid quarterly for that facility. And we might only have to re-up this contract one more time. And I checked with Donna Bunch today to see if we had asked her to refresh my memory on the volleyball situation, and she said 2 years ago, I think we played one volleyball event there. Last year, they played all of the volleyball at the college and plan to do that again next year. It just works out a little bit better for that particular sport. So we got a little bit of flexibility in there to have at least one more event of the 11 that without extra charge, whether it be a wrestling event or some other event. So most of it is basketball related, but we do have that. Since we're not utilizing it for volleyball, we got at least one event flexibility.
Okay, and if I remember right, we have a 10-year agreement, but state law regulates that we can only approve it for a year.
Yeah, and that's actually probably pretty good for us, because in 2 years we hope to get away from it and do away with it. And I've already talked to them more than once about, and they know that we got these construction projects going on, and so I think they'll be good to work with when we do dissolve it. But then also when we do things like if we continue the holiday tournament, which I think we might, and I think there's a chance for that to expand greatly. Then we get our new gym built. I think there's a possibility that we'll need our gym and then the event center and maybe the college too. So they know all that, and they're willing to work with us.
Awesome.
Practices, remind me on practices. None.
I think I think in the past, the basketball coaches have been able to contact them, and if the gym was already set up, the goals and everything were already set up, and there was not a conflict with an event, they've let us in there periodically to practice, but not on a daily basis, no.
Anything else? Carol, do I have a motion? I would entertain a motion.
I was really hoping that this would be the last time we would have to do this, but I'm sorry. Was really hoping this would be the last time we'd have to do this, but I will go ahead and make the motion that we approve this contract.
All right, reluctantly, Willa Jo makes the motion.
I'll second her motion and her rant.
Yeah. Second by Ernie. Discussion?
Well, hopefully next year will be the last reluctant time you have to do that. Yeah.
All in favor say aye.
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 All opposed? Motion passes. Next item is Carl for the construction of additions to Garfield Elementary School.
As Michael already mentioned, we did receive 7 valid and very good bids. The spread on the amounts that they quoted was not that large. The low bid was Henson Construction for $1,748,000 for the base bid, and we did go ahead and take the alternate, which was the generator, backup generator, and the total cost then for the contract that we would like to offer is $1,783,000, which is well under budget and represents freeing up some leeway room in our overall budget for construction. So we recommend approval of extending a contract to Henson Construction. This will be a hard bid contract rather than a construction management at risk. So they'll be our general contractor on this project.
And so as Carl said and Michael also said, we were under budget on that Garfield project, so that's really good. And that combined with these old bond leftover money that Carl was talking about earlier is going to give us some good flexibility. I almost put Michael on the spot and said, well, since that Garfield project came under budget, then we should be led to believe that all of your projects will come under budget, but I didn't want to put him on the spot like that. But we were very pleased with this many bids that they came in. So many of them came in under budget, and Henson Construction had the low bid, which we're always happy to work with, and so we'd recommend approval of the Henson bid at 1.748.
So moved.
Got a motion by Tori?
Second.
Second by Matt. Discussion.
I might add that there's a couple other reasons I think that Henson was able to bid well on this. Of course, they built the first building. It was completed just in 2013, so there are very few unforeseen circumstances that may come up with this addition. The drawings were very tight, as Michael mentioned, so I think all of those factors played into us having a significant
Sounds like you're trying to lay the groundwork for the fact that not all of our bids may come in under budget. Is that accurate?
I am.
Okay.
But we're fortunate in this one, and they'll do a very good job. They take a lot of pride in their work, and I think they genuinely wanted to do the addition to their Garfield building. So.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes.
Did you get the?
Did this include the alternate?
Yes.
Yes, it did.
But your motion didn't, or Tori's motion did not?
Yes, it did. You just missed it.
Yeah, she said it.
Yeah, she quoted the amount.
Yep, total amount is in there. So, let's see, did we vote on that?
Yeah, we did.
Okay. Good.
New business?
No, sir.
All right. With that, we will go to reports. Lieutenant Colonel Lachinsky.
All right, I'll follow Dr. Floyd's suit with a very quick report. I don't have anything of any real significance, but just a thought. So this is my second year sitting here. This last, as we get to the end of the school year, I tend to get a little more reflective. This last year was pretty incredible to watch compared to even the year before. Despite all the fiscal constraints and all that, just the growth that we've seen in the school district, the change, the positive change that we've seen, it's been notable. And I commend you all on the board and everybody in the administration, the principals. That takes a lot of hard thinking, asking hard questions, and a lot of heavy lifting to do that. And sometimes it's the simple things, like there's grass growing in front of the high school now that wasn't growing this time last year. The fact that we have a STEM program in every one of the middle schools now that wasn't here the year before that. The fact that we're starting to see construction after all of that hard work from the bonds. So my hat's off to you. Thank you for all the hard work that you do as a parent of a student in the district. And I can't wait to see what happens next year. It's going to be good, despite some challenges that I'm sure we'll have.
And we are really glad to be able to hang on to you for another year. More so your wife than you,
Aaron,
but yeah. But that is exciting. We're glad to hang on to both of you, and glad you're going to be here another year.
Yeah, Jane, I think there's a lot that echo everything you just said. I think you said it very eloquently and articulated it well. We have come a long ways, and with some positive additions. So
appreciate it.
Yep. All right. With that, we have a special meeting. Are there any other board comments, questions? Yes. All right. Sorry. Go ahead.
Well, first of all, I want to reiterate what Dr. Floyd says, that we will actually have a colonel on our board after June, we think, right? And so glad that. And AJ gets to spend his senior year at Enid High, so that'll be a positive.
We have a date set for that ceremony yet?
30 June.
June 30th. All right.
Okay.
You'll send us something on that?
And
good.
And most importantly, Aaron gets to continue to teach at Enid High. So
amen.
I do have a couple questions though, and these are for Carl. And Carl, I'm just recently a couple issues have come up that I've been made aware of, and that is that, you know, we go through a bidding process for so many things, but yet there are some items we don't bid, apparently. And the reason I say that is as we talk to folks out in the community, I've had a local insurance agency ask me why they're not allowed to bid on our insurance. And I know that recently it came up that we don't take bids for our bonding and things like that. Can you explain to me, like Stephen McDonald, we just choose them instead of bidding for that process? So why is it that we bid so many things, but then there are certain items that we don't bid?
Basically, we bid everything that's required under the Competitive Bidding Act here in Oklahoma. Equipment is not bid. We seek quotes. We seek quotes many times on insurances. We've compared programs in the past. We didn't elect to do that this year. We have chosen a financial advisor that we've stayed with for a number of years because of their expertise. That's something that I would be very hesitant to put out to bid.
Well, I just know that other schools do it. I've done a little checking, and I know other schools do it. UConn recently put that same service out for bid and actually saved some money by doing so. And my concern is that when again, we keep hearing about a financial crisis, and it just seems like if there's ways we can bid things and save dollars, to me it just seems prudent to maybe at least consider that. So thank you for answering my questions, though.
Certainly.
Anything else? Any other comments? All right, with that, we have a special meeting scheduled for Friday, May 26th at noon.
Right now, there's only one or two items on that. One will be to approve the bid on the special needs classroom project at the high school, right? And then we might have one or two personnel items on there, not sure yet.
Okay. And then our next regular board meeting will be here June 19th at 6 p.m. And with that, I do believe we need an executive session, so I would entertain a motion to go into executive session.
So moved.
Moved by Ernie.
Second.
Second by Tori. Discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? We are in executive session.
All right, Dudley, you want to come on back with us, and then we'll bring the coaches in there one at a time.
We have to get the hot seat wired first.
Can we get a bid sheet?